All right, good evening, everybody. We're going to go ahead and call the Finance Committee meeting to order for this Wednesday, August 6, 2025 at 5 p.m. We have a full roster of members here this evening for our roll call. Moving on to item number 2, our consent agenda, which includes the approval of minutes June 12, 2025 stand-up and June 4th, 2025 regular meeting, as well as our recommended approval of the bills and transfers to the county board. Might I have a motion to put that one on the floor? Motion by member Leffler, second by member Farley. Any questions, comments, concerns? All right, let's go ahead and vote on that consent agenda. All those in favor of the consent agenda, please respond by saying aye. And any opposed? That motion carries. Carrying right along to number 3, the appearance by members of the public and county employees. Administrator Taylor, did we have anyone apply for public comment this evening?
Chair Lehman, we've had no requests.
Alrighty. With no requests, that carries us on to departmental matters. With departmental matters, we kick off with 4A with Marshall Thompson, Director of Animal Control. Ms. Thompson was unable to be here this evening and also had no items to be presented for action. She does have a robust report available on pages 4 through 10. Was there any information that was shared from that department to be discussed this evening in other information?
No specific information. I know her staff is very busy with the transition to the new building. They're packing for the move, and it is imminent that they'll be moving animals to the new facility. So it's coming right along.
Amazing. That's great to hear that things are moving right along. And speaking of moving right along, let's continue on to 4B with Michelle Anderson, the county auditor, who also had no items to be presented for action this evening and is not present. However, in terms of items to be presented for information, I think we've had some conversation over the last couple months on the status of the audit. So curious if we have a status update on where we are with that fiscal year 2024 audit process.
So I have been in communication through email with both CLA staff and the auditor. CLA has reallocated staff from other projects to work on our ACFR and audit materials. As you know, they were contracted for earlier in the year, and because of late submissions from the county, we had to push that back, and so they had to juggle some other prior commitments with other customers to work on our project. So they have reallocated that staff, and they are working to finalize it as quickly as possible. I heard from CLA on Monday, August 4th, that Sandy Perry indicated they will be getting comments and edits to Michelle Anderson, our auditor, by the end of this week for the financial statements that they had received. They are also working on the ETSB lease calculations. We're getting confirmation on the GASB 101 decision. And Neihart Actuarial Service was contracted in mid-June by the auditor. They were able to provide the GASB 75 OPED report to the auditor on Monday, August 4th, and so she has begun the review of that document and is making good progress. She communicated that through email that she's already through 500 lines of that report, so that's good progress. So it's work is being done. Unfortunately, we do not believe that we will have anything for this. Well, we won't have anything for this month's cycle for board, and so I think if we are able to get the ACFR and audit prior to the September Finance Committee meeting, in conversation with the chair of the board, I believe it would be beneficial for the board to consider a special meeting. And so that requires 1/3 of the board to submit in writing the request for a special meeting. I've expressed that to both the auditor and CLA as a possibility because every day after August 27th, I think it's 27th, every day after that we are late, we can be fined by the comptroller for every single day that we're late on this report. So as soon as we can get this in, I think we should.
Thank you very much for that update. Incredibly helpful. Any comments or questions from members of the committee? And we'll certainly keep everybody apprised as we get closer to that date when everything is turned in and the time comes to ask for a special session. Okay. All right. Thank you again very much. Carrying along to 4C, Kathy Michael, County Clerk. Ms. Michael is also unable to be with us this evening, but she has shared the recorder's reports, pages 11 through 17 in the packet. Any comments or questions for the information that we saw from the clerk's report? Okay. No comments or questions there. Moving on to 4D. This is where we would welcome Mr. Jorsak, our Supervisor of Assessments, who is also unable to be present with us today. There was no information to be, or no items to be presented for information. Any comments or questions about anything regarding the Supervisor of Assessments office from previous conversations? No? Alrighty. And moving along to our star guest today with item number 4E, welcoming our County Treasurer, Becky McNeil. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. It looks like you've got two items to be presented for action. The first is a request approval of a resolution authorizing the county board chair to cancel mobile home tax sales certificate of purchase. Might I have a motion to put it on the floor for discussion? We have a motion by member Fagan and a second by member Farley. Ms. McNeil, over to you for any information that you have to share with us about this particular item.
All right. The three mobile home parcels, the trustee is requesting approval to surrender the tax sale certificates. The property owner did not redeem the taxes during the redemption period through the county clerk's office, and the trustee proceeded towards title action. This is the goal of the program, and sometimes we have to come in a little bit after the fact. But the primary goal of the program is to recover delinquent taxes for the benefit of all taxing bodies. In this particular case, if it was a normal tax buyer, they may not have been so lenient with the property owner, but of course through the trustee, their goal is not necessarily to take title to the property. It's to work with property owners and help them pay those delinquent taxes. Sometimes they have payment agreements. That's what they had in place with this particular taxpayer. So the trustee is requesting approval to surrender the tax sale certificates.
Thank you very much. Comments or questions from the committee? Member Fagan?
So is this a single owner with the three separate pieces?
That's my understanding from the way everything was worded. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Additional comments or questions? All right, seeing none, let's go ahead and vote on 4E1A. Request approval of the resolution authorizing the county board chair to cancel mobile home tax sale certificate of purchase. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? And that motion carries. Moving on to E1B, accept and place on file the county treasurer's monthly financial report. Might I have a motion to put it on the floor? Motion by Vice Chair Friedrich and a second by Member Loeffler. Ms. McNeil, over to you.
Okay. So our revenue from the state of Illinois for the month of July was $1,697,000. The overall year-to-date, we are currently about $304,000 below where we were in 2024. Looking at budget right now, we have, again, $10,107,529. It's about $384,000 below budget. Budget is because of like how some of these come in, budget is basically like 1/12. But you know, there are months in which we have higher receipts and months we have lower receipts. So, but overall, Currently, it's 3.7% under budget. The shared sales tax revenue, during the month of July, there were no receipts from the town of Normal or the city of Bloomington. The equity in that fund at the end of July, $20,293,000. Property tax revenue, we are in the month of August now and starting to pull in more of second installment. These distributions reflect the first installment that was distributed in May and June, $25,721,000. So again, we'll start distributing towards the latter part of August and get into September, and then finish up the tax cycle in October and go to tax sale in November. The motor fuel tax, the July receipts you have there, on the regular county motor fuel, 162,000, the renewal, 180,000, township, 136,000, and renewal, 151,000. So, any questions? The treasurer's report is there in front of you. Next, during the month of July, and we took out three treasuries, and I was kind of surprised that our rates are still running well into the 4% range. And so, I mean, right now here in 2025, I mean, we're into the month of July and we're still getting interest at 4%, 3%, 4%. So I'm hopeful that we'll come out pretty good on the interest earnings. The final page has the accrued interest through July. That's not all, it's not all 100% in, because my staff, they're still reconciling bank statements for the month of July, but $2,066,000. You can see there for 2024, it was 5.3 million. So we're not going to be as high as we were in 2024, but we're still going to come in pretty good. Oh, the next report is that Blue Cross Blue Shield comparison. You can see there our self-insured plan. During the month of July, we had claims of $621,740. Right now, we have year-to-date claims of $4,911,000, which is $664,000 above 2024. As we get into the latter months of the year, I think we're going to start seeing more of our stop loss protecting us against a lot of loss. Our stop loss, we pay $894,000 so far this year, but the actual adjustment has been $136,000 credit back to us. But like I said, typically towards the latter part of the year, that's when that stop loss really starts kicking in and protecting us against catastrophic loss. So. And then the final report is the nursing home report. And because of how the nursing home reports their financials to my office, this is through the month of June. Their major sources of revenue for the month of June, $746,997. Year-to-date, $5,009,000. So they're about 44.5% year-to-date. You can see the revenues there for the month of June and expenses for the month of June. The accumulated revenue, $5,040,000, and accumulated expenses, $5,338,000. So right now, negative $297,000. Receivable at the end of June was sitting at $4,918,000. Cash, negative $1,744,887, and fund equity, $1,209,489. The nursing home, though, I mean, even though these numbers are through the end of June, there's still some accrual work that we have on the revenue side with transfers, as well as the expense side. So they can still change. Any questions?
Comments or questions from the committee? Okay, Member Klaus.
I have two questions. One on the nursing home. back in May, do you remember anything? It seemed like the transfer was significantly higher in May, and I don't remember seeing it before. Is there anything, because that basically makes up, we've lost 300,000 in equity. That was mostly about the transfer that went up. Was there something specific that happened in May that you can remember?
I probably, yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
Okay, not a big deal.
I'm
And-
sorry. I would have to
That's
take
okay,
a
I
look.
just curious. I mean, I know it's not this past month, so I don't expect you to necessarily
Well, I mean,
know.
we're, and the other thing is like with the nursing home, like for my office, like, May and June, those are 2 months where we get caught up on some of the stuff that comes in
Okay.
during tax season. So like during the month of June, and July here right now, we're getting caught up on a lot of their different transfers and things
Okay.
like that, so.
And that's fine. Like I said, every time I read this, I come up with different questions. I happen to see something I didn't see
You
last
can always
time.
reach out to me,
Yeah.
if you'd like, and then I have my computer in front of me, and I
Right, I
can
know.
always
I know, this
dive into it.
is never very fair in here, so I
That's okay.
apologize for that.
Feel free to contact me anytime if you want to, ask about, where things are with the nursing home.
And then the other question, just in general, did the new, like, school sales tax for the county start like July 1st, or when is that? I was thinking it was starting July 1st, but did it not?
We are not involved in
We're not,
that.
we won't be involved in that at all?
No, we
Okay.
don't.
I didn't know if that was passing through or
That-
anything.
That will go directly to the school districts from Illinois Department of Revenue. That's
So
not
Illinois,
something that
they
we're
take it. Okay.
involved in.
All right,
We don't
good.
collect
Okay.
for any type of the sales tax or, different type of taxes that are
Okay.
paid.
Perfect.
Hotel taxes, et cetera, yeah.
Okay. I did have one question. So with the shared sales tax, so we're seeing the very first month with July with nothing coming in on the shared sales tax. I'm assuming that that is a party to some of the conversations that have been happening with the city and the town in wanting to halt that shared sales tax.
That's what I thought as well.
Okay.
But I got an email today about an incoming payment from Town of Normal. So
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to ask where the conversations are, or reach out to Andrew Hume. But like I said, I mean, we just got notice of an incoming direct deposit, through an email, but that could be an error. I don't know. It just came through today, so I haven't had a chance to ask about it.
Okay.
But it's coming in from Town of Normal, so I don't know where those conversations are, what's been decided. If that's an error on their part, wait and see.
Okay. I'd love to have some kind of update on where that particular part lands. And then Administrator Taylor, if you have any other insight on that.
I don't
one.
have any
No.
definitive
Yeah.
answers on that either.
Okay.
And I think the other thing with this shared sales tax, it's 3 months behind. So when we talk about that, if there is a decision, we need to firm up what exactly that effective date is, because the transfers come in 3 months after. For example, October, November, and December arrived in January, February, and March. Because that's how the state payment, that's the state cycle. So, I would like to know myself
Okay.
what to expect, so.
All right. Inquiring minds want to know, and we will all stay in tune to wherever the situation is at current. Thank you. Any final comments or questions for our treasurer? All right, seeing none, let's go ahead and carry on. Thank you very much for your presence tonight and for your service to the county. On E2, any other items to be presented for information from you, Ms. McNeil?
No.
No? Well, thank you again very much. We'll carry on to 4F with our county administrator, Ms. Cassie Taylor, who has one item to be presented for action this evening. 4F1A is the request approval of a reclassification of nurse manager positions at the, oh, did we not vote?
That's what I was just asking, is if you voted on the reports.
We did not. We should probably vote. Let's do that. No, that's good. Thank you very much. I appreciate you bringing that one back. So 4E1B is accepting and placing on file the county treasurer's monthly financial reports. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Now we can go ahead and continue on. No, thank you. I appreciate you catching that. It's important to make sure that we've got our business buttoned up. Next time, give me a big old whomp, okay? 4F, with Cassie Taylor, our county administrator, 4F1A is a request approval of reclassification of nurse manager positions at the nursing home. Might I have a motion to put it on the floor? We've got a motion by Member Roseman Mendoza and a second by Member Fagan. County Administrator, what information might you have to share for us with this one this evening?
Well, thank you, Chair Lehman. I was expecting Mr. Wiley to be here to present this to you this evening. So I'm a little disappointed because I know I will not do it the same justice that he would have in his explanation. So request is coming from the nursing home administrator. He explains it in his memo, but in a nutshell, they have nurse managers that are over a unit. So there are 3 units, the 3 wings of the nursing home, and he would like to adjust their grades from up 1 grade from where they're currently standing, and he has made an allowance for if they have an LPN versus an RN degree. And then he would also like to adjust the ADONs, the Assistant Directors of Nursing positions, as well to account for compression between those 2 manager positions. And that's the ask.
Comments or questions from the committee? Unfortunately, without Mr. Wiley here, I guess I'll direct my questions to you. But we've seen some consistent requests from department to department as needed for these type of reclassifications. I know we're in the midst of the budget cycle and trying to make those kind of focused and intentional plans for our budget for next year. So I'm just curious what the impetus is for this to be done right here, right now, as opposed to having it be something that we could hold on to for the January or for the 2026 budget cycle, and understand that, you know, is this something that's going to really put a stopper on operations if we would perhaps request for it to be held until the new year?
Again, that would be a great question for the director of the nursing home. However, I will tell you that when these requests come in periodically through the year, it's frustrating for board members. It's also frustrating for administration. And so working with our HR team and my administration team, we're trying to look at different procedures, SOPs that we can put in place with departments where maybe they have, because we do understand it's difficult when you're trying to build out your workforce needs 9 months in advance. You know, some things can happen in those 9 months that you might not have anticipated before the next fiscal year starts. That being said, we also would like to be more systematic with these changes, and so maybe we have one other time mid-year, so maybe we have it in June, and then they can also request it in January. If it doesn't fall within those 6-month timeframes, we'd ask them to kind of hold on or try to delay hiring or adjust workflow if possible, understanding that there's also emergencies that may come up that may necessitate coming to the board outside of sequence. But with this particular ask, I believe the impetus for now was because he had 2 retirements of 2 unit managers, and that brought these imbalances to light. And so he'd like to hire in managers, and I believe he was finding difficulty asking them to take on extra workload without a raise in pay.
Thank you very much. Comments or questions from the committee? Okay. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and take 4F1A to a vote. That's the request approval of the reclassification of the nurse manager positions at the nursing home. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? And the motion carries. Moving on to 4F, 2. So this one is an item to be presented for information. This is in fact a closed session pursuant to 5 ILCS 120-2C11, litigation when an action against affecting on or behalf of the particular public body has been filed and is pending before the court or administrative tribunal, or when the public body finds an action is probable or imminent, in which case the basis for the finding shall be recorded and entered into the minutes of the closed meeting. Might I have a motion to take us into closed session for this, information item? I see a motion by Member Roseman Mendoza and a second by Member Farley. All of those in favor of voting to go into closed session, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. We'll go into closed session, and I do see the treasurer's mic is still on. As a reminder, go ahead and have your mic And we have returned from closed session, moving right on to item number 5, other business and communication. Our next meeting is scheduled for September 3rd, 2025 at 5 PM. Does the committee have any other business or communication to share? Seeing none, thank you very much for your service to the county. This meeting is adjourned.